rural Sioux reservation in South Dakota, shooting a small cluster of authentic teepees by the Missouri River, just down the road from a nearly empty Down on Its Luck casino, where we later ate buffalo. We spoke to Gerard Baker, a Hidatsa Indian, and then the superintendent of the Little Bighorn National Battle Site, and saw the discoveries of the expedition from a different, decidedly more bittersweet perspective. But at every step, whether near Kansas City or Bismarck or Helena, Stevenson, Washington, or Geraldine, Montana, or Monowai, Nebraska, population 7. The grandfather spirit that was and is the Missouri called us. Soon, it became clear that the real star of our film was not these two very interesting, nearly opposite explorers and their brave crew, but the magnificent land itself and the many promises it still held. And the Missouri, that great highway into the unknown, had brought both the Corps of Discovery and now us to this startling realization. There is something about the journey of Lewis and Clark that you can't let go of once it gets under your skin. Something about the painful combination of both triumph and tragedy, of loss and spectacular gain, of progress and its inevitable cost. Something about the promise of our democratic ideals, a promise given a real test in the wilderness just beyond what was then our country. Something about friendship and trust and even love. Something about a beginning and an ending, all at the same time somehow. Lewis and Clark get under your skin. It's a palpable tug, a wanderlust, not just for the experience of a new unknown place, but for the abiding wisdom and meaning that issue from the questions these sacred places insist that we ask of ourselves. As one explores the Missouri and the Columbia, the ghosts and echoes of that almost inexpressibly wise past rise up and envelop you. The river beckons anew, calling everyone who comes near, come up me, come up me. Listen, there are grave doubts at the hugeness of the land. Henry Adams once wrote many years after Lewis and Clark had completed their celebrated journey. There are grave doubts at the hugeness of the land and whether one government can comprehend the whole. Adams was expressing perfectly his country's profound anxiety over the growing sectional discord that many thought would eventually bring a civil war to the United States, and the underlying issue of race that taunted the American ideal of equality, magnifying its obvious and monumental hypocrisy for all to see. But in a more direct way, he was confessing an utterly American fear that somehow we might have outgrown ourselves, that the seaboard collection of former colonies that had once been the nation had indeed stretched beyond our comprehension, straining both the promise and the possibilities of our fledgling experiment. In short, Adams was asking, had we simply gotten too big to go on?